You had brought this up with me on an email, and I figured it was worth some discussion here. In all of this discussion of Donald Passman and his legacy and some of the perspectives that he has and how much he celebrated in this field, I know you've often asked me what makes a good entertainment lawyer or what qualities should artists look for in an entertainment lawyer. And certainly I have my own thoughts on this, but I'm also biased given my job title. But do you want to talk a little bit about from the artist side, like what you're looking for in an entertainment lawyer?
So as I think about this, part of it overlaps with what I'm looking for in a lawyer, period. I've hired antitrust lawyers, entertainment lawyers, corporate lawyers, litigators. It's just been a big part of my life, sadly, no offense, for decades. And the first thing I would do is sort of make sure that you understand the psychology of the lawyer that you're hiring. There's three types in my experience. If I was forced to count, there's the one who are, flex their muscles and say, I'm the guardian at the gate and let me show you how I'm protecting you. And often those are excessively controversial with counterparties and start fights and make you irrelevant or sort of make you come off as excessively mercurial or adversarial. And so you want to avoid certain lawyers that are all about the fight. And then there's the ones who are just too blasé and sort of say, well, you want to get the deal done. And so you should give on this, or that's fairly standard, and that's no good. The one that you want is the balanced one, the one that knows that he owes you a duty, in a sense, to protect your interests, but understands that there are certain practical realities to making a deal, whether you're signing an influencer to an artist deal, whether you're doing a 360 deal, a modified 360 deal, or just even doing a remix agreement. For God's sakes, the idea is to accomplish something and to generally protect you in an equitable way. And to find that lawyer who's conscientious and doesn't invest his ego into the situation and doesn't overdo the bit about being the three-headed dog that guards the gates of hell, like that is a rare jewel in any business. And then the other thing I would say is, man, I'll say the obvious, but when you deal with an entertainment lawyer or a real estate lawyer, but we'll stick with entertainment, who really has on the ground road warrior experience and has seen the mistakes, there's nothing like it. Just because you're hiring someone who worked for, Ed Sheeran, that doesn't mean that person's going to take that much interest in you. What you need is a road warrior who handles people like you, where you're not their biggest client and you're not their smallest client. And who really, you're right down their fairway, but who does it all the time and can tell you 10 stories about how this provision or that provision screwed someone that they know, and you should be careful of it, and awaken you to those things. So I would say the neurotic road warrior is just sort of the archetype I'm looking for. I have one guy that's been working for me for 20 years, and he calls me, he says, I just want to make sure you understand this. I just want to make it, and he drives me insane. Okay, I can't even watch a Netflix show without him fucking calling me and saying, do you understand? But at the end of the day, he really is my guardian. His neurosis mixed with his road warrior experience makes him an absolute diamond in the rough, or not even a diamond in the rough, just a diamond. And so that's what I would say. Massive experience, not too controversial and not too blasé. So that's a bit qualitative, but hopefully you see where I'm coming from.
No, and all of those things matter a great deal. I love what you noted about finding that right balance in an entertainment lawyer between somebody who's going to protect you, but also not be a deal killer. And that's particularly important in the entertainment industry, because once your lawyer becomes a deal killer, you as an artist will forever be branded with, oh, don't do a deal with that artist. They have a lawyer who kills every deal, who negotiates things to death, who doesn't reply to emails promptly, who doesn't turn things around fast enough. It's not worth the trouble. Let's find somebody else. And so having a lawyer that wants to protect you to the death, but also understands that their job is to get the deal done for you, is critical. And I think the other thing that's important with lawyers, you talked about experience and knowledge, right? the Donald Passman lesson and what he talked about in this interview shows us how fast this industry is changing. And so if your entertainment lawyer is not constantly learning about the new technologies, learning about how artists are performing and marketing themselves, are not constantly realizing how the trends in the industry are changing and why that's important for their clients as the artists, that's a lawyer that's ultimately doing you a disservice. Like, this is a legal profession, or this is a particular genre of the law that gets obsolete so fast, right? And lawyers, and and entertainment lawyers, there are a lot of them who have been around a long time, and unlike Donald Passman, aren't learning what they need to learn to stay on top of the industry, and they get left behind. And if you want to get into this business, you have to stay on top of these things. You have to keep reading. You have to talk to your clients and learn about what they're doing.
We just 15 seconds, because I know we got to move on.
We got to talk about ghosts.
No more ghosts, man. I'm selling an entertainment asset right now in California, and the opposing counsel was so aggressive and so not knowledgeable about like some modern technological concept, modern legal concepts, that we actually stopped the deal. We actually stopped a $200 million deal and said, we don't want to do the deal if we have to talk to that lawyer. And they got rid of him and they fired him. So you're right. Keeping up with the modern technology and the modern legal concepts it's everything. You alienate everyone around you if you don't.